Welcome to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio on Sports 56, 96.1 and 98.5. Now, here's your host, Johnny Radio himself, John Hardin.
Welcome into a little Friday action of Sports 56 Happy Hour. You know me, Johnny Radio. You know Gabe Coon. We're going to chill with you for the next 2 hours. And I will tell you one thing. You ever heard the saying, we're going to start a small crop fire? Yeah, it looks like we're going to start a crop fire, and you know where. It's going to be a busy, busy day. 2 o'clock. Alex Coon, Gabe's brother, to talk. Well, Luca Garza. Who does Alex look like, Mr. Gabe Coon? Who does Alex? No, don't tell him. Just think about it.
If you watch the Iowa-Michigan game,
you know.
You should know.
You should know. Dickerson. Anyway, we'll talk about this stuff and more. We also got Tiger information. Guess what? And I'm not talking about Tiger Woods, even though Tiger Woods has been moved to Cedars-Sinai in Los Angeles, one of the most private hospitals, and one that's very, very, very wealthy, very, very good, and I'm sure he's going to get the best care possibly. Tiger basketball. Sorry, people. Y'all are going to have to check yourself before you wreck yourself. The schedule is not, the AAC does not work for Penny, does not work for the University of Memphis, the city of Memphis, doesn't work for anybody that, it's a conference. Right now, Wichita State, Houston, they're ahead of that conference. They're not going to bend back they're not going to bend backwards for the University of Memphis. The University of Memphis knows what they have to do. They have to win. And if Memphis can win, everything's going to be fine. We're going to talk about it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hit us up. 67129. Also going to talk about woke players. And the reason I'm bringing it up in the way I say it is because I am... How would you describe me, Gabe? I'm pretty easygoing, right?
For the most part, yes.
For the most part, yes. Okay, thank you. Or at least I'm open to new ideas. Like, I think the Kobe Bryant idea of making him the logo, I think that's perfect. It's a year after the passing of him, his daughter, 9 souls on that airplane. Plus, people rebrand, as Gabe Coon put it, Coke. Pepsi rebrand. What else is rebranded? The only thing I know that's still the same is the Nike swoosh. Do they have Ruse anymore? Or did they become another company? Did you ever wear Ruse? You don't even know what those are, do you?
No idea.
I'm definitely aging myself. Anybody who actually had a pair of Ruse, 67129, tell me what they look like. But what I want to say is I'm going to talk about athletes. I'm going to talk about their window. And I'm going to talk about it right now. And I'm going to ask this question because I'm going to open this up at 901-360-8255 around 1:30. 2:30, I have Hardenwood. 2 o'clock, I have Alex. And then we're going to get to the lead off here in just a minute. But I want to know if you believe what I'm saying. And this took me 24 hours to digest. I've been looking at the numbers. Y'all have heard me talk about how much the decline in all the sports are. We're in a COVID-19 world. Things are different. But also, I think people are looking at everything different. And I'm going to ask just Gabe Coon. Empowerment of professional athletes, I don't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with them speaking out on issues when it bothers them. The problem is they speak on issues every single day. It's not one representative. I am never going to be Laura Ingraham and tell LeBron James to shut up and dribble. I am never going to sit there and say that talking about something that means something important to you is you shouldn't do that. What I'm going to say is when you want to take 2 hours of your 24 hours of your hard day and you want to watch a ball game, don't you just want to watch that game sometimes? Do you need all the other pieces? And I'm bringing this up because right now, you can look around this and you can talk about it however you want to. Pro players, they're nothing but, and you can get mad at me for saying this, Do you know what a pro athlete is? He's a checker or a chess piece for a franchise. The franchise that drafts him, it's not their job to make him the best athlete in the world. It's their job to make their product the best product for their fans so people consume it, because you don't make $150 million a year if it's not being consumed. So what I'm saying is, no matter how popular or talented these players are, if they don't check themselves, they're going to end up wrecking themselves. I'm astonished at some of the reactions that some of these veteran players have had who came before them, and they're not giving the same love or attention that the players who are currently playing are, because they're just like saying, hey, we didn't make $20 million a year. In the 80s, we weren't on live television. The game, we grew, and now the game is at the height of its height. And instead of making the game as the best game you can possibly make it, you'd rather spend more time talking about issues. And again, I love people when they talk about issues. I like people when they have a heart. I want people to have a soul. But I also want people to have recreation. I want them to have time to let their mind heal, to watch something that is just considered fun, that to watch something that transcends race, religion, transcends politics. And that's what sports used to do. It didn't matter if you were white, black, brown, green, from this country, that country. If you loved that sport, you just watched it, you consumed it, you enjoyed it, and guess what? Advertisers paid mad dollars. Do you know how much money's being lost? And people talk about the NFL, the NBA. No, go look at this. How much money has been lost in industries like ours? How much money has been lost in local TV markets? How much money is being lost all over the place? Viewership is down. Are we going to come out of this the same? I don't know. I want us to. I love sports more than anything in the world. I love the NFL. I love my Tigers. I love the Grizzlies, except for last night. Oh my goodness, they look good, but I took the Clippers. Wow, that was a mistake, wasn't it? So what I'm saying is I want you to hit me at 67129. And you can sit there and say this is a horrible take. You can say this is a great take. But pro athletes are given platforms. But that platform will last for a while. Your career only lasts so long. I mean, look at the great ones like Joe Montana. Look at, Deion Sanders. Look at Bo Jackson. Look at all these guys. Like, listen, I'll listen to Muhammad Ali. I'll listen to all these wonderful players. It's just every single night when I turn on the game, I don't need to be preached to. Because I go to church on Sunday. Or I watch, what's his name, Joel? Maybe, maybe not. But anyway, point is what I'm trying to say is I just want to be able to enjoy something again. Hit me at 67129 if you agree. And again, I have nothing with being woke or caring about something. But I also want to say your career only lasts so long. And the best of the best, yes, you will be treated different. But was Kawhi Leonard not traded to Toronto? He didn't want to go to Toronto. But he went and got a chip in Toronto. But he was traded. DeMar DeRozan was sent down to the Spurs. Look around all over the league. You can look back at just all these moves that have happened. It's anyway, point is, hit me at 67129 if you think that people are not watching the games, not because they don't care about sports, but it's because they just want a break from all the pains and the ills of 2020 and 2021. Because COVID is not just infected the United States, it has caused a global pandemic. And it has also shined a light on a lot of other problems. But we can't fix them with one sword. And we can't fix them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have to rest our brains. We have to rest our bodies. We have to be able to go and do something that we all enjoy. Because guess what? As divided as we are, sports are supposed to bring us together. Like, that was the greatest thing about sports. It had nothing to do with religion, race, gender, politics. It was just, you throw out a ball, who are you rooting for? Who wins? Let's go play a game. And I missed that. I want it back. Now, speaking of something I want me some Tito's. You know it's Friday, don't you? Top 10 vodka in the world. Where? Tito's. Where's it crafted? Austin, Texas. Did you know that when you walk into the store, you go in there, you can look at the Belvederes, the Grey Gooses. You can sit there and see $55 a bottle. They don't taste any better than Tito's handmade vodka. Tito's handmade vodka, it is simply the best. You will absolutely love it. When life hands you lemons, simply make a lemon drop. Just make sure it's with Tito's handmade vodka. Tito's, it's simply the best. Gabe, I'm in the box.
Man, you came in here on a serious note today. You good?
Man, I talked with a lot of people last night. They were kind of waking me up to a little bit of why they aren't watching ball games.
Okay. Understood. But let's start here. And this is the big news of the day, especially if you're a Memphis fan, Memphis basketball fan. Memphis and Houston. The game on March 7th has been moved to Houston. It was originally scheduled to be played here in Memphis. And then a lot of people have taken exception to it, and the AD for Memphis, Laird Veach, also has taken exception to it. He said that he is very frustrated that a more creative solution could not be realized. And my question here, a couple of them. Should he be frustrated? And how much could a road win at Houston help bolster the Tigers' tournament chances?
Memphis basketball still has everything in front of them. The problem is they have to win, and they have to win big. The other problem is it is almost March. We are at the end of February. Today is February 26th? February 26th. March Madness is on its way. You got to get these games in. You got to get in your tournaments. By the way, we've already had one automatic qualify yesterday. Did you see that? So people are getting ready for the tournament. Memphis, you have dealt with COVID. You didn't play for 18 days until the other day. The fact that they rescheduled you a game with Houston, a ranked team, to give you an opportunity to give a road win, Laird, don't look at this as a negative. You have to look at this as a positive. You have to look at this as an opportunity. And Tiger fans should look at this as an opportunity. This is not something to punish the Tigers. This is not something to punish Penny. This is not something to reward Wichita State or Houston. This is called life in 2021. And people got to quit taking things so damn personal. They're going to get a game in. The Tigers' job, like I was talking about woke people, Tigers, their job is to go win some basketball games. Period. And if they go win some basketball games, guess what? We're going to enjoy the NCAA tournament. They go beat Houston. They win this tournament. Life is going to be good. But, dude, what's the difference of them realistically playing in the FedEx Forum right here in Memphis, Tennessee? Realistically, what is the difference? Is it much?
Honestly, it's if they win at Houston, it's a better win. It's
a better win. I think it's crazy to get upset about situations. I think that the only thing you can do is control yourself and what's in front of you. If the Tigers can control themselves and go out there and win a bunch of games, the Tigers are going to be okay. If they can't, dude, only person you have to blame is yourself because you had such a bad December and a bad January. So, end of discussion, shut up and play, and make the damn tournament.
Now, there's this sort of thought that, like, the conference was going to bend over backwards for Memphis to get another Wichita State game, to get another Houston game. That was never really – like, what is the conference going to do? Where were they going to schedule these games? How were they going to get them in? And I understand, yeah, you wanted to have a home game against Houston, but it is what it is. You got to play what's in front of you. And if this is what the conference had to do to try to make it a little better for their bubble team in Memphis, then that's what it is. It's not ideal, but then again, the conference was not going to bend over backwards for the University of Memphis.
And by the way, I want to say one quick thing. To this texter, it says, it is punishing the Tigers game was supposed to be here. Dude, where was the last game? What I'm just saying is how come, why does everybody think that the Tigers are always getting punished? This is not like the NCAA, yes, they do. If you break some rules, they'll come down and punish you. They were rescheduling a game. This was the American. Talk to Mike Oreska.
If also someone can come to me and give me a realistic option for another game to be added, then I will address that. But I don't see where you could have. I don't see the option. You'd maybe have to play back-to-backs, which is not a realistic thing in college basketball. So if someone comes to me with a realistic option saying that you could have added a game against a Houston again or Wichita State, then I'll be on board.
And last but not least, hold on. This texter who says that the Tigers are being punished, did the Tigers not punish themselves?
Lost to Tulsa twice.
Twice? Dude, come on, man. They looked so bad earlier in the year, you didn't even think they had a chance to make the tournament. Be grateful that they're third in the American right now, and they have a chance to go to Houston and actually get a very important win.
They have opportunities in front of them. They got to take advantage. That's the truth of the matter, and that's what has been the case for a while now.
In life, they only ask you one thing. I just want an opportunity.
Now,
Tigers got it.
Moving on to the NBA. The Celtics have been sort of the story, a big story in the early season. 15-17. And in the month of February, they have been 5-9. 5-9 for a team that has Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. I know Marcus Smart has been hurt, but this has been a huge discussion point. And they've had some injuries, which doesn't help. But right now, with all of those players, they sit behind the Hornets, the Knicks, and the Bulls in the Eastern Conference standings. And they're on the outside looking in when it comes to the playoff picture. They're outside. They would be in the play-in tournament right this second, but they're not in the top 8. And there was an anonymous quote that came out today about this situation, and it's making rounds on social media. It's being reported widely, and it's from another NBA player, reportedly. The quote is, "Tatum and Brown can't be your superstars. They only do things that help their game. They don't get anyone else easy shots. All they know how to do is score." Is this fair or unfair or correct or incorrect?
I think it's very fair. They're not, right now they're 15-17. They're fifth in the Atlantic Division. That's pretty bad when you're behind New York and Toronto. And, Brooklyn's great and Philadelphia's great. But when you're behind Toronto and Brooklyn, do you have anybody to blame but yourself? Are you looking over at New York and being like, dude, if we just had Julius Randle, oh, man, we'd be good. No, dude, listen. Brad Stevenson, he's taking heat for a reason. He's not doing a great job. Jason Tatum has been hit by COVID and talking about he still can't breathe. But you know what? We still haven't got to the All-Star break. They're right there behind Charlotte. Do you really think Charlotte's going to make the postseason? All you have to do is get in. They have to find themselves. I don't think this is something where I'm going to blame Jason Tatum. I'm not going to blame Jaylen Brown. I'm not going to sit here and blame the players right this minute because guess what? Boston's been good for a long dead-gum time over in the East. Is there a new change of guard? Yeah, just look at the Brooklyn Nets. Look at Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons right now. Is it going to be tough for Boston? Damn right it's going to be tough. But you know what? Boston has got to change something. They got to grow a little bit. And in the last 3 seasons, what has been their extreme step up of growth? Who's been that one person that they went out and got, or that person that they drafted that changed their whole future? Dude, no, everybody knows how to play Boston. They've been playing the same basketball for 3 straight seasons. People figure you out. Brad, you're going to have to change a little something up. I think this is just a stupid argument.
I will say this. And Danny Ainge said this too. I think the team right now with the Celtics, it's a weird makeup of players. You have 2 guys in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown who play very similarly. They're guys who score first. They don't really pass all that much. So I agree to a certain extent with this quote, although I don't think they're at fault for what's happening. But Danny Ainge did say that those 2 guys now are in a role of having to lead the team, and they're still very, very young. So they're still coming along, and I think that's the biggest issue here. And also, I think a guy like Marcus Smart, while some people say, oh, Marcus Smart, I think this is a guy who, if you put back into the fold, who he's been injured for a while, he's a guy who sort of brings the glue. He helps them come along. He dishes it out to guys. He makes everyone around them better. He plays good defense. So I think a guy like him being back in the fold will help that team a whole lot.
I'm totally with you. Plus, I also like Semi Ojeleye.
And also, I will say this. I like Semi Ojeleye. I'm not going to say I don't, but I think that bench is a lot less deep than it has been in the past because they had Gordon Hayward. They had Rozier in past years. They had more guys that could,
Are you not
come
a big
off the bench.
Peyton Pritchard guy?
Hey, Peyton Pritchard, I will say this, man. A lot of people doubted him, but he's been pretty good this year. He's been solid this year.
Kid from Oregon.
Now, NFL, we talked about this yesterday, Russell Wilson, and it keeps heating up. I never thought that we'd have a conversation this offseason about Russell Wilson possibly moving teams. But we really are here, and there's 4 that he mentioned yesterday. Obviously, he said he wants to stay with the Seahawks in a perfect world, but the 4 teams that he would like to go to are the Dallas Cowboys, the New Orleans Saints, Las Vegas Raiders, and Chicago Bears. I know you mentioned Chicago yesterday, but which one do you think is the best fit for Russell Wilson football-wise?
Oh, okay. The Saints replacing Drew Brees, pain in the keister. Dallas Cowboys has a superstar issue called Jerry Bleeping Jones. Dude can screw up anything perfect except for money and the way to steal power and charge people more money when their power goes out. Listen, I don't like Dallas. I don't like Jerry. And I sure as heck don't like that offensive line, that sorry defense. Yeah, you got CeeDee Lamb. Yeah, you got, some receivers. Zeke still stinks, and you can get rid of Dak. I don't like Dallas. I do not like Matt Nagy. I do not like GM Ryan Pace. But I will tell you, they have a defense. They have some receivers. They have an offensive line. And if Russ wants to cook, where would he be more enjoyed and loved? In a place that the best quarterback that they ever had was what? Sid Luckman? Dude, I don't even want to go there. You know who won the Super Bowl, don't you? Jim McMahon. I mean, come on, dude. Russell Wilson and Jim McMahon, are we going to put them even in the same breath? Yes, he won it because the 85 Bears defense, and he handed the ball to Walter Payton, and then he also gave it to Refrigerator Perry to score a touchdown. But, dude, Russell Wilson would be the sexiest thing that came to Chicago since Michael Jordan.
And the fans are all in on it.
They
heard this news, and they want it so much. And to think about some of the weapons they have, this could help Anthony Miller, a guy that we love. And
Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson. Now, I think the Bears have to make a decision now. They need to sign him long-term. They need to give him a contract because he has been their only redeeming quality, I think, on the offensive side of the ball for the past 3 years. You have probably one of the best pass-catching running backs in the league in Tariq Cohen. You have something that could develop in a run game if you get the right O-lineman in there. I think David Montgomery is a good running back. I think the Bears are definitely the best fit, but the Saints obviously have the most talent on their roster right now. But my issue with them, they have cap issues. They have serious cap issues, and Russell Wilson has a massive contract. Are they going to be able to clear out enough cap to take on a contract like that? I'm not sure.
And also, do you know what? Something else? I know you're going to think I'm crazy when I say this. Dude, something about Sean Payton and something about my man Taysom Hill. Like, I almost feel like Sean Payton likes Taysom Hill even more than Russell Wilson.
It's like you wouldn't want to be in that city. You don't want to come in between them.
You don't want to come in between them, dude, because that's like, dude, hey, dude, this is my girlfriend. This is my wife. You don't want to be the third lady. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what Russell's going to be, dude. I don't know, man. New Orleans, and plus they play in the same division as Tampa Bay. Falcons got a big draft pick, and Carolina, who knows where they're going to be. But Chicago, it will be tough with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. But, dude, you could slap Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings down, and the Detroit Lions have been perennial basement dwellers.
Let's also not forget, with the expanded playoffs, the Bears made the playoffs this year.
That's right.
So there is that.
They didn't cover that game against New Orleans, did they?
I don't think so.
That was one of my easier wins, if I remember correctly.
I don't think so.
I will tell you one thing. We are going to be back in 2 shakes. We got to come back and talk a lot of things. In fact, a lot of fun things. But before I say goodbye, remember one thing. When life hands you lemons, what do? You make a lemon drop. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Same great shows.
We welcome you back to Sports 56 Middays.
What's up? It's Sports 56 Happy Hour.
A new spot on the FM dial. Check out Sports 56 on our new FM home at 98.5.
Hey everybody, new Silverados are here. I'm looking at all these hot new Chevy trucks out here at Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. And All-Star, has all the Silverados, new 2020s, new 2021s. You saw how all those trucks handled in the snow, and now you can be prepared for everything with your own. 0 for up to 72 months available right now. Because you got to know, if it's a Chevy you want, Olive Branch is where you want to be. New 2021 Equinoxes, Blazers, third row Traverse, and talk about some deals. Check out the demo sale on slightly driven loaners. And All-Star has dozens of certified pre-owned Chevys, Tahoes, Silverados, Impalas. And as always, everyone at All-Star Chevy has one job, just one, to make sure you get exactly what you want at the best deal. Have more fun and in record time. So remember, it's not Mount Moriah, not the Pike, not South Haven or Collierville. It's got to be Olive Branch, people. So find new roads to Olive Branch, where after all the snow days last week, everyone at All-Star will stay late until 7:30 through Friday night and until the last customer leaves on Saturday. Pre-shop online at allstarautogroup.com.
The fun continues at Family Leisure with a brand new Factory Direct pool and patio sale. The new 2021 inventory is in. You got to get ready now and beat the rush. Become the first one to have your pool installed. They have spas in stock, and those are ready for installation right now, too. Complete your backyard with a new set of patio furniture, all state of the art. Special financing available. Family Leisure, I-40 and Whidden Road, where family and fun come together.
The President's Day event is in full swing at Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat on the Pike. And we're celebrating with 2020 Dodge Journey SE $19,990 or $249 a month. Or pump up your attitude with the 2021 Jeep Cherokee Latitude $21,740 or $277 a month. Or take your pick, 2020 Ram 1500 Quad Cab Tradesman or 2021 Dodge Challenger XST $339 a month. It's your choice, Ram 1500 or Challenger. We Gossett at $339 a month. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat 1901 Covington Pike, or shop online GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Almost financed through Chrysler, all 3,500 cash down, 75 months at 4.19 APR. Journey LT 296,053, MSRP 26,860. Latitude MD 168,760, MSRP 27,805. 1500 LS 156,730, MSRP 35,185. Challenger MH 581,58, MSRP 31,160. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax on license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 3/1/21. Dealer stock only.
A good friend of mine told me about this awesome place for lunch.
Oh, yeah? What's the name?
Neil's Grill and Bar, where the fat man rocks. Everybody knows Neil.
Where's it located?
It's located in Yorkshire Square off of Quince.
And what's it like?
The best lunch place in Memphis. You know, like real mashed potatoes and gravy. Everything is made from scratch. Monday through Friday, daily lunch specials like Monday baked chicken, Tuesday chicken fried steak, yum, fried chicken livers every Wednesday, Friday Salisbury steak, barbecue chicken, or if you just want a vegetable plate, the best veggies in town.
What about the lunch price?
Meat and 2 veggies, $7.95. Meat and 3 veggies, $9.99. And veggie plate, $8.95. Big fat boy portions, man.
Man, you're making me hungry.
Come hear the best live local music at Neil's. Mondays karaoke, Tuesdays Debbie Jameson, Wednesdays Elmo and the Shades, Thursdays Eddie Smith, and the best Memphis music all weekend at Neil's Bar and Grill,
where the fat man rocks.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
They used to tell me, boy, you ain't going nowhere. With your cheap guitar and your big long hair. You gotta realize all your responsibilities. You gotta get out to work and face reality. You gotta get up in the morning, take your heavy load, and you gotta keep going down the long black road.
Welcome back to Little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your friend, Johnny Radio. By the way, are you boiling water, Gabe Kuhn?
I'm not.
Dude,
Want to know why?
Sports 56 Happy Hour is now in full effect. Because you're
The boil
immune.
water advisory officially lifted.
Yeah, I know.
Fantastic.
How comfortable were you this morning brushing your teeth and showering?
Great. It was fantastic.
You were really that good?
Yeah, I felt comfortable. Well, I also, for those that don't know, you have to like start to
5
get your
minutes.
faucets
5
2 to
minutes,
5
yeah.
minutes somewhere in there.
Go 5 minutes.
If you 5 minutes to be careful.
Go 5
I think
minutes.
they said 2 minutes.
Empty out your ice trays.
Empty your ice trays. That's a very, very important thing.
Yeah, because ice is
And
not
if
supposed to
you
look
get
great.
fridge water, make sure you empty that out because I did that last night and there was some There's some stragglers in there. They also suggest if you do have a refrigerator.
Stragglers.
No, I'm serious. There was like little stems in my water. In my
I want
fridge.
some You had some seeds and stems in your water?
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
Okay, that's what I thought you were talking. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna come drink your
but,
water.
But they also say if you do have a filter in your fridge, you can replace that as well, and that'll help. What's funny about that, huh?
Because you talked about seeds and stems in a filter, and I just keep thinking about this graphics thing that I have. But anyway, point is, we're going to talk a little bit of basketball. I'm going to talk about Juwan Howard, Michigan, Iowa. We're going to talk about that with Alex Kuhn at 2 o'clock. We're going to talk about the Grizzlies, how I lost my bet last night. Whenever I bet on the Grizzlies, in fact, I'm going to quit betting on the Grizzlies, just so you know. Because whenever I bet on them, you know what happens? They lose.
Well, when you bet on them, they lose. But when you bet against them, they win.
They win. It's like they know that I bet on them, and they're like, dude, John's an idiot. I'm just going to
What was the money line last night on the Clippers? 200s or 300s?
It was 200s, and I had them parlayed with Michigan money line. So I had a decent payback. Michigan got there easily. We know what happened with the Clippers game. That was crazy. By the way, you know who plays the Grizzlies tonight? Clippers. Isn't that kind of weird?
Back-to-back.
Back-to-back. Grizzlies beat them 122-94 last night. It was an epic beatdown. Kawhi Leonard only had 17 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. JV with 16 points, 15 boards, 2 assists. Grizzlies, they destroyed them in the second quarter. Once that second quarter happened, you felt like it was the Grizzlies. But then the fourth quarter, did it look like the Clippers even came out and tried?
No, they were done.
Like they just said peace.
They were done.
We're going back to the hotel.
What was it? About 5-6 minutes, they took out all. Paul George was out. Kawhi was out. Ibaka was out. They didn't really care at that point. But with the Clippers, they just started so badly shooting. I think they started 0 for 9 or 0 for 8 from 3, and it was just a bad start for them. And the Grizzlies, I don't even want to say they took advantage because I don't think that first 7-8 minutes with that starting group.
Shoot 58% from 3 night in and night out, okay?
But that starting group last night for the Grizzlies did not play all that well. It was when Tyus Jones came in and hit like 8 floaters in a row.
He did hit 8 floaters.
That they started to get going, and he finished last night. He was fantastic. 9 for 11, 20 points, no turnovers.
No turnovers, yeah. I was going to say he also had 3 assists. But the thing was, Dylan Brooks going 3 for 5 from downtown. That was big. 4 for 5 from the free throw line.
We've gotten to a point where 6 for 13 for Dylan Brooks is like the peak of efficiency, right?
That is. What do you think about JV knocking down 2 threes?
That's all right. That's fine. He can. I mean, when you leave him wide open, and Ibaka was just letting him, and most bigs decide to let him, and I probably would do the same thing. But if he makes them, he makes them.
Now, can I ask you something? Did you think of anything about last night's game in Justice?
Fourth quarter, I thought he was fantastic on that strip there from Kawhi, and then went the other way. Assisted on a wide-open 3. I thought that looked good. He looked better last night.
His
4 for 8.
shot is still ugly as can
Well,
be.
yes, and I don't think he's a guy who, even at his peak in the NBA, was knocking down threes at all the time. So he's a guy who can get to the rack, good generally in the mid-range. Just got to get him with his feet under him, and last night looked like his best performance as a Grizzly, no question. It's only been 3 games. In the first 2, he was 4 for 24. Last night, shoots 50% from the field, takes in some rebounds, played good on the defensive side of the ball. So I liked his performance toward the back end of the game last night.
I feel what you're saying about you liked his performance on the back end of the game. I liked a lot of people's games, but the one that scares me is John Morant still can't make a dead-gum 3. He was 1 for 4 last night. He really is struggling with that stroke. He keeps continuously shooting it. Yes, he had 7 assists. He had, I think, 0 turnovers last night. But and he was a plus almost 18, maybe plus 16.
Right on the money, 18.
Okay, I knew it was something like that. I knew he was positive. But when you looked at Ja last night, do you feel like he's back to Rookie of the Year Ja yet?
No, not at all. He needs.
Does he need a mental break?
No, I don't even think it's that. It's just and he's tried to get that 3 ball going and his jump shot going, but it just hasn't been there at all. He's shooting 20% from three still.
Oh, I know.
And he needs to start hitting at least a few of them to get someone to respect him from there. And once he gets respected from there, his game will open up so much more. But until that happens, he's going to continue to have a little bit of struggles.
If Ja and Justice did not shoot a single three last night, the Grizzlies would have been 10 for 14. That is ridiculous, is it not?
Woo. They didn't put up that many, though.
No, they didn't. They only shot 19 total. But why would you shoot a lot when you got JV down in the box, banking things in? Why don't you? Grayson Allen is pulling up right there, wide open, hitting the 15-footer.
And also, I think in the first half, the second half was a little different. I think they got after the Clippers. The Clippers sort of lost a little bit of mojo there in the second half. But the first half, they
gave up.
The Grizzlies in the first half were settling for a lot of floaters. And I don't know if that – every time I say anything that could be misconstrued for anything else, you have to laugh.
I am a child.
I guess so. Absolutely. But they're settling for a lot of sort of floaters in the paint. Tyus Jones luckily made them, but I don't know if game in, game out they can count on those dropping.
No, I don't think they can count on those floaters dropping at all.
You need help. You need help, sir.
But you know what I can tell you you can count on? Brooklyn Nets. Do you remember how stupid I sounded earlier in the season that there's only one ball and James Harden is the black hole? Once the ball goes in, it never comes out because he goes dribble, 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 and then he shoots a three. Kyrie, he's crazy. It'll never work. KD can't control him. James Harden's never going to, just give in. Who's playing better than the Brooklyn Nets?
No one. Won 8 in a row. And in that stretch, you beat a good Pacers team, Warriors, Kings, Lakers, Suns, Clippers.
You broke the Magic. Broke the Magic. That game wasn't even close. 41 points in the second quarter, and it looked like they weren't even trying. Where'd this defense, by the way, come from? And how is it that a Brooklyn Nets team is able to hold somebody to 19 points in a quarter while dropping 41?
Can I say this, though, also? With the Magic, I don't know if we can take defensively a lot away from that game because their perimeter offense on the Magic is not where they make their money. They make their money going into Vucevic, a little bit on the perimeter with Evan Fournier, but Evan Fournier is not necessarily a come-off-the-dribble shooter, so he's a sort of a spot-up guy. I don't think the Magic are equipped to put any type of pressure on the Nets' perimeter defense, and I think that's what you saw last night.
I feel you on that one. Now, the Nets are absolutely awesome. Grizzlies are playing again tonight, the Clippers. But one more game I want to talk about last night. Actually, two. I wanted to talk about first Julius Randle going off. He's continuously to do his thing. How did the Knicks score 140 points with nobody other than Julius Randle that anybody knows? Is it the Kings are just that bad? They haven't won a game in so long. De'Aaron Fox is looking horrible. He played decent last night, but he's not making his teammates better.
Derrick Rose was in the starting lineup last night for
yes,
the first time, I think, with the Knicks, and he was nice. He looked good.
Rose had 18 points last night.
He looked good.
By the way, he had 2 threes and was 2 for 2.
And also, I have to give credit where credit's due. This is probably a Rookie of the Year candidate, and I know it's really early, but Emmanuel Quickley out of Kentucky, he looks good. He looks very good. I mean, he has some young decision-making problems he has to get through, but Emmanuel Quickley looks really good.
He does, but you know what else looks good? R.J. Barrett, who I thought when he came out of Duke was overrated. R.J. Barrett's starting to play some real basketball for the Knicks. Randall is somebody I didn't think was going to be great out of Kentucky. R.J. Barrett, you put these pieces together, they're actually starting to work. Derrick Rose is coming over there. Nerlens Noel. It's a weird team, but they're playing really good basketball.
It's weird because you try to put your finger on, the difference. Is it Tom Thibodeau? Is it Tibbs? Is that the difference in this Knicks team now?
But see, the weird thing about Tibbs has been either beloved or he's the most hated coach ever.
I understand.
And it's hard. This team, they're young with a vet in Derrick Rose who knows Tibbs. So maybe that works really good in the locker room. But with other people, it does not work. But this is where I got to ask you, is Marvin Bagley III one of the biggest busts coming out of Duke?
I don't know if we can label him that.
I'm already going to call him a bust.
I
He's
don't know if we can
21 years
label him
old. He
that
got
yet.
drafted in 2018.
He's 21. He's not terrible.
Dude, he's terrible. He's
All right, Charles.
terrible. I just think he's terrible. Look how big he is, dude. You know how big he is? He's like 7 feet tall, 250 pounds, and he's got no range. He's got no shot. We can make a 3 once in a while.
Shots there. I think right now he's playing with some. He's got some young softness. He can't him around the rim is not the best thing.
Does he ever have a block or a steal? Like, do you ever see Marvin Bagley playing defense? I don't.
I mean, he doesn't offer all that much, I feel like, on the defensive side of the ball. He's an offensive player. There's no question.
By the way, Buddy Hield is how overrated is Buddy? Buddy is overrated. Do you remember, never mind, I think that thing was called Bosom Buddies, but Buddy Hield's not doing it out of Oklahoma. It's kind of weird. But tonight, Lakers, Memphis, 7 o'clock, big game. Memphis beat the brakes off the Los Angeles Clippers last night. Weirdly, guess what the line is? Memphis Clippers tonight, 7 o'clock. Clippers are a 7-point favorite.
It probably hasn't, even though it was an absolute blowout by the Grizzlies last night, I don't think the line was going to change that much.
Yeah, me neither.
Changed by a half point, though, in the Grizzlies' favor. So, I guess that's
What do you think about the total, 224.5?
Let's see. Did they shattered that last night?
They shattered it.
No, didn't they? They didn't.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
No,
the
they
Grizzlies scored how many?
122.94. They didn't get to it.
Oh, they didn't get to it. Oh, I'm thinking of 140 from our boys in New York. Which
I don't know about that over/under. I have no idea about the over/under.
Well, I mean, you think the Clippers are only going to score 19
I
points in the fourth quarter?
You can't,
19 points in the fourth quarter?
You also can't count on the Clippers starting 0 for 8 from 3.
True.
You can't count.
But
on
you
that.
also can't count on the Grizzlies hitting 58% of their
That's
threes.
very true.
So,
but also, I think it's weird though because the Grizzlies, I think in the first half weren't all that like. Offensively, I think a lot of that stuff was somewhat lucky. All those floaters in the lane. I say floaters. I know you're going to start laughing here shortly. And they didn't put up that many threes.
Though.
They didn't put up that many threes last night, but they were making them.
Nothing but rim with them floaters, tell you. They flushed those joints. I will also ask you this: how good before I get off the thing, Zion, he just keeps doing things that kind of confuse me. I like him a lot. I didn't like him very much because he looked like somebody I've never seen. I mean, he's only 6 feet 7 inches tall. You know what I mean? He weighs almost 300 pounds. He's like 290. He can jump out of the gym. It looks like the pressure that he puts on his ankles and his knees and his ligaments and his joints, that something's going to blow one day. And I've always been worried about that. And yes, he does most of his scoring from within 5 feet of the rim. But is there right now a better athlete not named LeBron James who plays the power forward position or point forward position or is around that size, 6'7" to 6'9", almost 300 pounds? Is there a better athlete on planet Earth?
No, and you brought LeBron in there. Of course, LeBron is one you bring up there, but Zion is ridiculous. And how strong he is.
So
if you
strong.
meet him at the rim, you're falling back.
Two
every
hands
time.
on that ball, I promise you, when he goes up with two hands, nobody's blocking it. Who was
And
it the other
part of
night
his
that almost
game-
had his hand taken off?
And I know we talk about him losing weight, and I've even talked about it, and I almost am changing my tune on it because I see him get to the rim, and, like, I feel his weight is part of the reason he's so dominant at the rim.
But do you know how he elevates? He's got jumps like out of control. Could you imagine if he dropped 20 pounds? The dude might be hitting his head on the back. They'd be thinking he's Dominique Wilkinson or Michael Jordan. He'd be in the dunk contest. Like, dude, it'd be crazy as
But,
could
like,
be.
he is knocking bigs back.
He is knocking
when they
bigs
meet
back.
him in the air. Like, good shot blockers. When
This
they
is
meet
what I
him
always
at the
wondered.
rim, he knocks them back. And I think if he loses weight, it's not going to be the same.
Could Zion played in the past where they had the bigs with Patrick Ewing, Akeem Olajuwon? Could he have done it when they had the Karl Malones at power forward? Or is he doing it now in this new NBA? I don't know, but I'll tell you one thing. I love watching the young man. He's a baller shot caller. We're watching the Memphis Grizzlies tonight as they take on the Los Angeles Clippers. Memphis beat the brakes off of them last night. They're catching 7. We'll talk more about some sports coming up. And don't forget, Alex Kuhn is coming up at 2 o'clock. I got great Hardwood stories. And never forget, you love what? Central Barbecue, because it's simply the best. Go to eatcbq.com. You can ship that barbecue anywhere in the world. All you have to do is go to eatcbq.com. Bing, bang, boom. It's done. You can close a deal. You can make a family member love you again. Whatever you want to do. And if you live in Memphis, 4 locations. The beautiful one right here on Poplar. The original on Central. The bad boy on Summer, and the one I frequent downtown, right behind the Civil Rights Museum. Smoke is their sauce. They have the best barbecue in the world, and there's nothing that Memphis does better than barbecue, and nobody does barbecue better in Memphis than Central Barbecue. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Spend your lunch with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 Middays.
Lunchy munchy.
Weekdays from 10 till 1 on Sports 56, 98.5, and 96.1.
It may be cold outside, but your deals keep getting hotter and hotter, Jeff. Hey, let's conquer the cold and gear up for winter with the Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah President's Day sales event.
We got you covered, Randy. Let's talk. 2021 Kia Forte, $133 a month lease. 2021 Kia Soul, redesigned inside and out, $149 a month lease. And a 2021 Kia K5, $182 a month lease. All just 36 months, $31.49 due at signing.
That's what I'm talking about, Jeff. Plus, every Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah comes with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah, 2680 Mount Moriah, or KiaMountMoriah.com.
All 36-month leases, $31.49 due at signing, 0 security deposit, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, $650 acquisition fee, Forte, ME3 19,038, MSRP $20,625, Soul, M7755 $638, MSRP $20,660, K5 MG 005560, MSRP $25,725, include all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF $695, excludes tax filing license, with approved credit, see dealer for complete details, offer valid through 3/1/21, dealer stock only.
Need to sell your home? You're in luck because I buy houses. All you have to do is call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pin, 901-406-1101, or just save it in your phone. Bill at I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses buys houses in any area, in any condition, at any time, as simple as that. I Buy Houses is guaranteed to close in 5 days. So if you need your cash fast, just call Bill at I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. Has your house been on the market? Were you just tired of renters? Or is it just time to start over? Well, avoid repairing, cleaning, painting, and prepping your house. Just pick up the phone and call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill at I Buy Houses. If you're in Southwind, South Memphis, North Mississippi, North Memphis, Collierville, if you can hear this, just call my friend Bill at I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101.
Attention foodies, there's a great new place to eat in a great restored building. South Hall Cafe is now open for breakfast, brunch, and lunch in the former Tobacco Corner. Chef Jesus Ramon is creating classics from scratch with a twist. Enjoy all your favorites, including the best cheese grits in the South, a full bar, an in-house pastry chef, catering, online ordering for curbside or delivery, and a covered patio with live music on the weekends. We're open 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. weekdays and 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. on weekends. South Hall Cafe, corner of Poplar and Mendenhall.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
2021 is finally here. Might I suggest we start the wonderful new year with a makeover for your beautiful house. I'm Brian Elder. I'm a roofer. I fix roofs. Don't let them tell you that it has to be replaced when all it may need is some love. 867-0303. Let me love on your roof. I've made quite the reputation over the last decade as the guy to call after the insurance company denies the claim. Overturning a claim that has gone bad is an art form where you argue county code, manufacturer specs, and details of your policy that they have to abide by. So let me see it first. If I say it's a claim, it's a claim. 867-0303. Money is free at Brian Elder Roofing with 0% financing for half a decade. I'll measure your roof from outer space and get you a quote right over the phone. 867-0303 or BrianElderRoofing.com.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
The President's Day sales event is going strong at Gossett Kia on Covington Pike. 2021 Kia Forte, $133 a month lease. That's less than $5 a day for a new ride. 2021 Kia Soul, completely redesigned exterior and interior, $149 a month lease. And 2021 Kia K5, just $182 a month lease. All 36 months with $31.49 due at signing, and they all come with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So let's conquer the cold and gear up for winter in your new Kia from Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online at KiaCovingtonPike.com. Ask for Bobby J. He'll put you in a new Kia today.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month leases, $31.49 due at signing, 0 security deposit, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents excess mileage, $650 acquisition fee, Forte, ME3 19,038, MSRP $20,625, Soul M7755 $638, MSRP $20,660, K5 MG 005560, MSRP $25,725, includes all manufacturer rebates and incentives, PF $695, excludes tax title and license, with approved credit, see dealer for complete details, offer valid through 3/1/21, dealer stock only.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Welcome back into little Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your friend Johnny Radio. Y'all know Gabe Kuhn. Follow Gabe at G_Kuhn71. Follow me at Johnny_Radio. And don't forget the show. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and the IG at Sports56WHBQ. Now, when I hear my man come out, Rolling Stones, Mick Jagger, I think of nothing but Frontier Western Store, largest boot showroom on planet Earth. Go down to 5880 Goodman Road, down in Olive Branch, or just go online. FrontierWesternStore.com. They ship your order within 24 hours. Any order $75 or more, absolutely ship free, and they have the easiest website to navigate. You can go to their home page. You can shop by men's, kids, women's, boots, jeans, sale items, or you can shop by brand. It's very, very simple. Add it to your cart. Bing, bang, boom. It's safe. It's solid. They have you covered. They're family-owned and operated since 1967. And again, 5880 Goodman Road, down in Olive Branch. Frontier Western Store. They're the real deal. Holyfield.
All right, so we ready to have this Deshaun Watson conversation?
Bring it.
All right, so yesterday, Dan Graziano was reporting, and this was a lot of people reporting this, that Deshaun Watson and David Culley, the new head coach for the Texans, met, and Watson reiterated several times that he wants to be traded. And he also told David Culley that he has zero intention of playing for the Texans again. There's absolutely no change. He's dug in. Then today comes the news. Ian Rappaport is reporting that the Texans have zero plans on trading Deshaun Watson at all. They are dug in as well. I'm at a crossroads. I don't know how this ends.
I'll tell you how it looks like it's going to end. Did you see the Yahoo report, Deshaun Watson possibly to the Jaguars? Did you see possibly this? I still believe this dug-in thing is Nick trying to say, I want a hell of a lot more than what Carson Wentz got. I want more than what Matt Stafford got. And if you're talking 3 first-round picks for Russ Dickulus, I want that compensation. I know they're saying that voicemails, like GMs are calling in, and it's just going straight to voicemails or, for Deshaun Watson. I hear all that stuff. But if I'm a betting man, which I am, I bet you Deshaun Watson is not week 1 with the Texans. In fact, I bet he's traded before draft night.
And this thought that the Texans, they need to let it go, first of all. Because it's very clear that Deshaun Watson will not be playing for them if they try to keep him. And, what purpose does it serve to have a guy with that big of a contract not playing for you? He can hold out. He's within his right to hold out. Now, will he lose money for it? Yes. But at the same time, he still has his millions guaranteed. He holds a lot of the bargaining chips here, and the Texans need to just go ahead and let it go. Now, you say that I know for a fact that he can get a huge return. He'll get a Stafford, if not more, return for his services. Right? There's no question.
What about a number 1 overall pick and you trade Trevor Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, you get a big break in pay, it brings down your cap hit. Nick can go in there and buy a bunch of players, bring in new people. You've gotten rid of J.J. Watt. You got to rebuild, don't you? Cal McNair has basically destroyed that franchise. I mean, we've watched Andre Johnson waste his career. How many great athletes have to waste their career in Houston before they realize, hey, we got to rebuild this, John?
You know what narrative that keeps bothering me is why did Deshaun Watson sign the contract? Why did he sign the dotted line? Do you realize how Deshaun Watson was brought up? He needed help from Warrick Dunn. Warrick Dunn provided a home for his family.
For his family.
If you have $156 million on the table, you sign that contract. You take the generational money. I'm tired of hearing this low ball. It's not an argument that makes sense. If you had a contract like that on the table for someone that you're familiar with, at the time it was Bill O'Brien, you take that all day. And I know that the Bill O'Brien thing didn't work out, but I'm tired of hearing this same old tired narrative of why did he sign the contract? Because you take the generational money and you ask questions later.
Totally agree. And by the way, did you see him chilling at that picture? Look at his house. It ain't the one that Warrick Dunn bought him either. I mean, he's living large. Speaking of living large, we got to talk about, oh my goodness, Luka Garza, who was living large earlier in the season. Got the brakes beat off of him by Michigan. Man, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Juwan Howard, is he the coach of the year? Listen, Mark Few, everybody talks about the Zags. You can talk about Baylor. Nobody's doing a better job coaching their basketball team, had to deal with COVID-19, and nobody's playing in a more difficult conference than Michigan. Right now, Michigan is the cream of the crop. Juwan Howard is my coach of the year. We're coming back to talk with Alex Kuhn on the other side. Don't you dare touch that dial. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Do you want a greener, more weed-free lawn? If you're like me, you can't stand the sight of dandelions, clover, or especially crabgrass. Hi, I'm Brandon Hawley, president of Lawn Solutions. We are your locally owned and operated weed control and fertilization company. We are also experts in disease and insect control on your lawn and landscape. Our uniformed technicians are full-time, year-round licensed and certified by the state of Tennessee. Lawn Solutions' personalized service is far more superior to that of national companies that promise but simply cannot deliver. We return phone calls, we keep appointments, and we want your business. What we will not do is bother you with endless phone calls or junk mail. Lawn Solutions will not sell you something your lawn doesn't need. If you're looking for a local lawn care company to kill your weeds and feed your grass, then Lawn Solutions is the finest. Call us at 867-5626. That's 867-5626. Or go online at lawnsolutionsinc.net. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for your business.
When you think about Memphis-style hot wings, you better be thinking about Crumpy's Hot Wings, because they're made from the freshest ingredients and always deliver that mouth-watering taste that you expect from your hot wings. Now you can visit their new location at 420 South Germantown Parkway. You can also call them at 901-207-1273 and see for yourself why Crumpy's is simply the best. Ask for the Sports 56 Special, which is 20 pieces of whole wings, large fries, and 4 drinks at just $38 for your family or group gatherings. Crumpy's Hot Wings, simply the best.
Hi, this is Troy Five-Ash, owner of Five-Ash Roof Services. You've heard me talk about how we offer the best products, the best warranties, and the best services for years. Now let's talk about pricing. Pricing should never be the only reason you hire a contractor, but in today's world, pricing is always a consideration. So we suggest you get 2 or 3 estimates for your roof replacement from a reputable, licensed, and insured company, and then give us a call. If we can't beat your best price for a comparable roof system by more than $100, we'll give you $100. It's that simple. We are so sure we can offer you the best price, beating all other qualified companies. We will hand you $100 if we can't, and thank you for the opportunity. So give us a call. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Make $100? Five-Ash Roof Services, a proud supporter of Tiger Athletics and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five-Ash Roof Services, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five-Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Upgrade your commute at Acura of Memphis. Seize the thrill and test drive one of our award-winning models, each packed with cutting-edge technology, luxurious amenities, and a driving experience that's sure to awaken your inner self. Driving shouldn't be a chore, it should be an adventure. Advance your drive today, shop our aggressive lease and finance options now, luxury is waiting at Acura of Memphis, or shop online 24/7, visit AcuraofMemphis.com.
Hey everybody, new Silverados are here. I'm looking at all these hot new Chevy trucks out here at Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. And All-Star, has all the Silverados, new 2020s, new 2021s. You saw how all those trucks handled in the snow, and now you can be prepared for everything with your own. 0 for up to 72 months available right now. Because you got to know, if it's a Chevy you want, Olive Branch is where you want to be. New 2021 Equinoxes, Blazers, third row Traverse, and talk about some deals. Check out the demo sale on slightly driven loaners. And All-Star has dozens of certified pre-owned Chevys, Tahoes, Silverados, Impalas. And as always, everyone at All-Star Chevy has one job, just one, to make sure you get exactly what you want at the best deal. Have more fun and in record time. So remember, it's not Mount Moriah, not the Pike, not South Haven or Collierville. It's got to be Olive Branch, people. So find new roads to Olive Branch, where after all the snow days last week, everyone at All-Star will stay late until 7:30 through Friday night and until the last customer leaves on Saturday. Pre-shop online at allstarautogroup.com.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, W253DF Memphis, and WIVG Tunica Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Thank you for tuning in to Sports 56 Happy Hour with your good buddy Johnny Radio. I'm fired up about this hour because guess what? We have a lot of fun to talk about. During 2:30 at Hardenwood, you won't believe this. Gabe Kuhn, did you know a UFO was moving very slowly over New Mexico? In fact, it was 45 minutes, and guess what? Actually, the U.S. government has commented on it. We will talk about that later because you know I love them aliens. We also got some fun stuff. Oklahoma, do y'all know Spencer Jones? Let me tell you a little secret. You can be big. By the way, Gabe, if I ever grew up on a UFC mat and somebody taught me how to fight and I had like 6 black belts in Taekwondo, I'd whip you. But guess what? I don't have any of those things. And you're bigger than me, so you'll probably just like put me in a ball and throw me out the window. Spencer Jones got into it with a guy, though, who was raised in a UFC cage. And boy, his brothers beat the brakes off some people.
Spencer Jones almost lost his eye. We'll talk about it. My gosh. Don't
bad.
pick fights that you don't want to be in. That's all I'll say.
Do not pick fights.
Cauliflower ear. Stay away from it.
Stay away from cauliflower ear. And another thing that I got to tell you, what, dude, please tell me you saw Dwayne Wade and Stephen A. Smith in the Stephen A. Smith photo.
Yeah, the random athletes on Twitter posted a photo of him.
Oh, it's so funny.
Winston-Salem State.
Dude, did you see that little mustache he had and everything? How young he looked, dude. That was funny. And Dwayne Wade just killed him. It was hilarious. Got bad news.
He said, I'm dropping 50 on him.
Yes, I'm dropping 50 on him. But we're also going to talk about the 10 greatest MLB players of all time that I ranked. And then we got to talk with Juwan Howard with my good friend Alex Kuhn. Before I get there, though, I want to remind you something very important. I buy houses. 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. It's any house. It's any area. It's as is. It literally is as simple as that. Give my buddy. He's my friend. He's been with me for like 5 years. 901-406-1101. You call Bill. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. It really is that simple. You can text me later and thank me. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Mr. Alex Kuhn. How is life?
Alex, what's up?
What's going on, guys? I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing better than Luka Garza, I bet.
It's a normal day. I said floaters earlier, and John was laughing. John is what was it, Idaho last week that you couldn't get over?
Dude, that ain't Mr. Potato Head. By the way, you're older, Alex. We'll talk about
No.
this
He,
off air.
I talked about it with him. He does not have the same definition as you. Your definitions
of what?
Match it.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Nothing. We'll talk about it. It's off the air.
It's off the air conversation. By the way, I do have to say this before we get to this. Do you know who you look like, Alex?
Hunter Dickinson.
He knew it immediately.
You posted a poll last night on your Instagram, didn't you?
Yeah, look. So I posted a poll on this last night. I got about 3 texts. They're like, how are you sitting at home watching this game when you're also playing for Michigan? And I was like, what are you guys talking about? And then I looked at it. And usually when somebody says, oh, you look like so-and-so, you can't see it. Like, I can't unsee it now.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's creepy. I don't like it at all. It's weird.
You must have grown like, what, 8 inches overnight, too?
That's
Yeah,
what
like-
she said.
Oh my God! See, golly, we can't even ask a question of my own brother without John being 5 years old.
Oh, all right. Can I get into this most important game last night? And I want to ask you because I think Juwan Howard's Coach of the Year. We watched Gonzaga struggle a little bit. There's some good coaches out there. They're doing a lot of things. Juwan Howard, I don't know why, but I just didn't think he was going to come in there and completely rebuild this program. They've dealt with COVID-19. This Michigan team is playing out of control. But the other thing about Juwan Howard is I love him. Like, he is straight up with the media. He talks smack. He talks to people. He gives them basically everything that's going on. Is Juwan Howard basically the breath of fresh air that actually is going to probably bring people to this tournament?
He's doing a great job. I thought that when he got hired, there was a little bit of a question mark of how is he going to adjust to the college game. And bringing in Phil Martelli, the former coach at St. Joe's, it's the best of both worlds. You have a coaching staff that incorporates the free-flowing style of the NBA. For years under John Beilein, Michigan was very good, but they were defensive-minded, and their offense was just maybe a little too rigid. This team is playing free-flowing. They're lighting up the scoreboard, and they still play that harassing style of defense that bothers anybody, that wins games in the NCAA tournament. So when we're talking about national title contenders, we've been discussing Gonzaga and Baylor all year long. I'm putting Michigan in that category as well. No questions asked.
So outside of that, we saw Michigan play a really tight game with Ohio State. Would you group Ohio State in there, or are they on the outside looking in?
See, Ohio State's really, really good too. But I'm not sure that they have the size to contend at that level in the defense. They don't get me wrong. Ohio State's a great team, and I could see them making a Final Four run. National title contender, though, I just think that Michigan right now is the most well-rounded, most versatile team in the Big Ten, and they've dispatched pretty much everybody they've played so far this season.
Last night, I love Luka Garza. I think Luka Garza is a fantastic player, but Hunter Dickinson, is he sort of putting himself in the conversation of possibly being the best big in the Big Ten? I mean, last night when you look at what he did defensively, I think
diving for balls
against Luka Garza, he was. I mean, he harassed him all night.
Yeah, that was the amazing part to me. As Hunter Dickinson, when you look at him from afar, you think, okay, well he's kind of upright and tall, and you thought that maybe Luka Garza would be able to bully him a little bit and get into his chest, and he tried. Like, there were multiple times where Luka Garza would back his way down and right into the chest of Hunter Dickinson, and he wouldn't move. That was the most amazing part about it. I have not seen somebody just not flinch at Luka Garza coming downhill at him and not move backwards when Luka Garza lowers his back or his shoulder into Hunter Dickinson's chest. So there are some really, really good bigs in the Big Ten. And the way that he played defense last night on Luka Garza maybe was one of the best, if not the best, defensive effort we've seen from any Big Ten post player in the last 2 years.
Man, that's kind of crazy because when I think about Michigan, when I think about what Iowa was earlier, when we look at the Big Ten Conference and how powerful they are, a lot of people should definitely get in. But I want to know, out of the Big Ten, how many do you have on your 1 seed, and who are your 4 1 seeds? Everybody's going to have Gonzaga up there. I feel like Michigan's 100% in Baylor. Who will be that 4th 1 seed?
That is that's going to play out over the next couple weeks. I don't know. At this point, you have Ohio State and Illinois at 4 and 5. You have Alabama at 6, Oklahoma, Villanova. Well, Iowa's kind of fallen out of it now after that blowout loss. But if they beat Ohio State, maybe they can move up into that 2-seed range. It's anybody's spot right now. Illinois is going to have Ayo Dosunmu out for the rest of the regular season, most likely. They're the number 4 team or 5 team in the country, depending on who you ask, whether it's the AP or the coaches poll. They're in there, but they have 4 games remaining without Ayo Dosunmu. 3 of them are on the road, and those 3 games on the road are all against top 25 opponents, including Michigan and Ohio State. So right now, Illinois is in the top 3 in the Big Ten, and they may fall out of that spot. I think Michigan's going to continue winning. Maybe it is Ohio State. Maybe we see another rematch of Michigan and Ohio State. Ohio State is a great basketball team.
Even after back-to-back losses?
Michigan. What's that?
But even with those back-to-back losses, kind of just it feels like it's hard to be on that number 1 line when you have back-to-back losses for some reason for me.
Yeah, the loss to Michigan State hurts for sure.
But Michigan State won 2. I mean, this is a team who won 2 in a row against ranked opponents.
They're moving back. Right now, it's just flawed. There's no Kentucky, Kansas, North Carolina, Duke. None of them are even close to a number 1 seed. So we're used to just penciling those teams in because they have the best talent. They usually are at the top of college basketball. But this year, with kind of the blue bloods taking a back seat, you're going to get some teams in the top 4 as a number 1 seed that you're not used to seeing, and 2 losses in a row in the Big Ten I don't think gets held against teams.
Yeah.
I think the Big Ten's going to get sort of the same treatment that the SEC gets from the College Football Playoff Committee with the NCAA Selection Committee.
Especially when it's road losses in the Big Ten. It's just so common. I mean, it happens all the time. Michigan's only loss went to, Minnesota on the road?
Yeah,
and they lost.
Road, yeah.
So, it's one of those things that just seems to happen in the Big Ten. But and I'm going to ask you about some NBA prospects because I want to talk about Ayo Dosunmu. I want to ask you about him. But with Michigan State, with their last 2 wins, beating Illinois and Ohio State in a row. And they're a bubble team, no question. They're not. I don't think they're necessarily in right this second, but I don't necessarily think they're out. I think they could, they have 2 games against Michigan, Indiana, they have a game, and then Maryland on the road, which could be a very, very big win for them. If they get into the tournament, is this a team, I know Aaron Henry's probably their biggest guy, their best guy. Is it a team that strikes fear into you at all, or is this just sort of a mediocre Michigan State team under Tom Izzo?
It's definitely the latter. This is a mediocre Michigan State team. This is not a very good Michigan State team.
But the two wins against top 10 opponents sort of make me think otherwise. Maybe they're peaking at the right time.
With those 2 questions, I feel like they're 2 separate questions. Is this a mediocre Michigan State team for Tom Izzo's standards? Yes, absolutely. No question about it. The talent it's not there. They don't have a Cassius Winston. They don't have a Xavier Tillman or a Jaren Jackson or a Gary Harris. They don't have 1 or 2 of those guys. And now, I like the fact that Aaron Henry is stepping up and starting to play at that level these last few games. But I don't know if you can count on that because he's throughout his career always been a second or a third option. But it's Tom Izzo's team going into the stretch run, and we've had this. I keep asking because my brain is telling me no, this Michigan State team is still not that good, but these are Tom Izzo coach teams going into March where anything, and I mean anything, can happen.
That's what I'm saying. It's just with where they're coming right now, with how they beat the 4 team and the 5 team in the country in a row. It's just like sometimes with some of these blue bloods, you feel like if they peak at the right time, maybe they have a chance, but we'll see. I don't know if they have the makeup to do it, but it is what it is. So Ayo Dosunmu, He's not going to be in the fold until tournament time, right? You said conference tournament time? Is he, in your opinion, the most ready to be in the NBA? Is he probably the best NBA prospect in the Big Ten right now?
In the Big Ten, most NBA ready? Yeah, I think so. I've kind of been befuddled with the way that the NBA mock drafts have ranked him so low. There's always that player who gets selected in the teens or the late 20s, or even into the first round, that turns into a really good player. Kawhi Leonard was one of those guys. Donovan Mitchell. We've seen over the years plenty of those guys. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think that Ayo Dosunmu can be a really good backup scoring point guard, 6-man type point guard right away. And I think he can be a starter eventually too. He has that kind of upside, but I've been befuddled with seeing his name as a potential late first or early second round pick.
Purdue, are they the most underrated team coming out of the Big Ten? And would you want to run into this team in the conference? I mean, like in the field of 68, because right now with Williams, Ivy, Wheeler, Savanovic, they are playing sick basketball. How good is this Boilermakers team? Oh, that sounds like we lost
most
him.
Certainly lost him, yes. I'll get him back on.
Yeah, it sounded like things were different. Yeah, but I've been wondering about Purdue. 15-8, 10-6 in the toughest conference. Balling, shot calling. We're going to have to figure out how good they are. But again, we talked about basically everything basketball so far. I got to get into a few other things with him, but I want to get this question answered because it's very important before I move on. And I also want to ask a question that's just kind of weird. I want to ask your buddy if he liked watching Dwayne Wade make fun of Stephen A. Smith, because I thought that was just the power hour.
We got Alex back.
Mr. Coon, talking about
Sorry
number
about that,
2,
guys.
Alex. Oh, don't apologize. That's life, man. That things happen. Is the most underrated team right now, is it the Purdue Boilermakers?
There's another team that I've seen them play this year, and there's no game that Purdue can't make dull and can't make boring. But the thing about them is they play at their pace. They play a defensive brand of basketball. They take every second of the shot clock. Mm-hmm. They have some really good bigs. You almost know every year what a Purdue basketball team is going to look like, unless they get a star like Carson Edwards or Robbie Hummel. But this team is kind of nondescript. They don't have one of those guys, but Matt Painter is always difficult to play against. And in the Big Ten, they're going to be up and down. The NCAA tournament, they're one of those teams that could they could be bounced out in the first round with a bad opponent, or they can make a run. I don't know which way to go with them, because I've seen them. I've seen them in both directions. They're kind of like Indiana that way, where one game you look and you say that's a team that can make a run, and then the next game they barely get to 60 points.
Kind of like Memphis.
Yeah, kind of like Memphis. Ugly at times. Good defensive basketball teams. That's sort of how Big Ten basketball seems to go year in, year out. But tough transition here. I think we've sort of covered the Big Ten. Have we? You got anything else, John?
No.
All right. Well, I think we've sort of covered the Big Ten. In the NFL world, we have the Russell Wilson news coming down. Is this smoke, or do you think this is actually something that the Seahawks should be worried about?
I mean, it doesn't sound good, does it, guys?
I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't, but it has been an off season where I think a lot of people have voiced especially quarterbacks have voiced everything about their situation and made it seem like they're not happy. So I don't know if Russell Wilson's just sort of getting on the trend, or it's something that's like actually a big issue and they had to deal with last year.
By the way, I'm going to add something to this, and I want you to kind of comment, because I talked a little bit earlier about players exerting their power and it having a negative effect on the game. Look, professional athletes are still employees. When people go to consume sports, it's usually a respite. It's a way to get away. Do you think that some young players don't appreciate what the people from the past have done and don't understand exactly what they're doing? Because you can go be a politician, you can do anything you want when your career's over. And I'm looking at all the numbers, and they're dropping. Do you think it has to do with all these quote employees asserting their power? And do you think it's driving the average fan who is an employee to somebody else? Is it driving them away?
No, I don't think so. I think that it's different. It's for old school fans of the sport and for sports in general that I do hear that a lot. But people don't stop watching because players decide to leave. Maybe some do, but it really hasn't affected things all that much. And I think at this point it's going to be happening more and more often. We're going to continue to see it, especially in the NFL, where contracts are a lot of times not guaranteed. And if a player has that opportunity to now say, you know what, I want a new situation, I don't necessarily blame them in that, because like you said, John, in every other walk of life, I have that ability. You have that ability. Gabe has that ability. Anybody has that ability if they're looking for a new change of scenery to move on. So I do understand that there's this idea that this was not something that happened in the past. This free agency, you didn't see all this movement in sporting leagues, but at this point, it's so commonplace that I'm pretty much used to it. The NBA is where you see it the most, and I think we're going to start seeing it in the NFL, but you don't see it that often in the NFL. The way that contracts are set up, only the top of the top players are the ones that have that ability to use that leverage.
I guess for me, it's just, it feels, and I guess talking to so many people and with 2020 and the COVID situation, seeing the numbers dip, it has made me kind of look at things a little bit different and kind of wonder, no matter how popular the player is or how talented the player is, we as fans usually fall in love with the team. So when people move on, it's hard for us to not look at players as chess pieces or checkers that are being moved around by franchises. I'm not saying it's fair. They're compensated. That's the way it's always been. But I do think that some of the older players are struggling with basically just the new style of everything and the constant movement, because heck, baseball, look at the NBA, look at the NFL, how much movement, look how many quarterbacks are going to be moved in the National Football League. It's like you have to relearn everything that you came back from with last year. And I just think that makes it hard on the average fan.
Yeah. The fan looking at it, it depends on what your league is trying to accomplish. The NBA has sort of gone to a national brand. And I do think that there's something to be said by the fact that you look at the NBA and there are fans of teams like the Lakers, like the Clippers, or the top level teams who follow the stars, like LeBron and Kawhi and Giannis. And it just depends on your preference. You brought up baseball, and that's something that goes back to the days of Curt Flood. Free agency is not a new phenomenon, but it's just it gets more and more active throughout the years. So I do think that it is a two-way street. The team's allowed to trade a player if they feel that they can get a better acquisition. So for the player, I don't necessarily have a problem with it. I do see the fact that some fans are like, "Oh, great, we get to relearn the entire league all over again." But I do know if I was in that situation, and like Deshaun Watson, where you just see the entire organization crumbling before your very eyes, and you're wasting the prime years of your career, I would definitely feel a certain type of way.
And I agree with you. I agree with Deshaun Watson, Houston. I think that organization has been an abject failure. I think it's more of some of the other things that I'm seeing going around and just listening to people talk. And I'm just also, it's either cord cutting or it's something, but people are moving away from sports. Maybe it's COVID-19. Maybe they're going to come back. Who knows? But I know one thing. I'll talk to you next Friday. I hope you have a blessed day. Grab a couple lefties. Enjoy your show. Tell Todd we said what's up.
See ya.
Will do, guys. Talk to you next week.
That's our good buddy, Alex. What?
Didn't you tell him to pick up a left-handed taco last week?
I did.
Yeah.
It's even bigger than a left-handed cigarette. It really is. But anyway, we'll talk about that on the other side. Plus, we have aliens. We have some crazy stuff to talk about in Hardwood. We got fights that are happening in bars with Oklahoma football players. We have nothing but fun coming up on the other side. So if I was you, I wouldn't touch that dial. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Sports Time with Wallo and Stacks. Weekdays from 3 to 6 on Sports 56, 98.5 FM and 96.1 FM.
All 75 months at 3.04%. Mirage MH 002682, MSRP 16865, G4 MHF 01572, MSRP 18360, Outlander Sport MU 004915, MSRP 24740. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Ready, set, start your new year with a new ride from Gossett Mitsubishi on Covington Pike. Get the hatchback hero in 2021 Mirage, $12,342 or $129 a month. 2021 Mitsubishi Mirage G4, 41 MPG Highway, $13,997 or $149 a month. And jumpstart your journey in 2021 Outlander Sport, $17,938 or $199 a month. And these are not leases. You own your new ride. Plus, you get Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Hey friends, all aboard to A&J Catfish Station's newest location in Millington at 7838 Church Street. A&J Catfish Station has delicious light-battered farm-raised catfish and mouth-watering big fried shrimp. Try the popular blackened catfish or fresh fried filet and whole channel catfish. Then there's mouth-watering mac and cheese, homemade tartar sauce, great burgers and fries, and fresh vegetables. Got a sweet tooth? Enjoy A&J's Peach Cobbler, voted #1 in Memphis. A&J Catfish Station, now the new location in Millington at 7838 Church Street.
This is a job alert. If you're looking for work, this will interest you. Whether you're looking for full-time, part-time, or even something temporary if you've been recently furloughed, text 107-JOB to 49330. That's 107-JOB to 49330. Office work available now in a clean office environment with all COVID precautions taken. Text 107-JOB to 49330 and someone will be in touch about these job opportunities available now. Text 107-JOB to 49330.
Taqueria Express has tacos of all kinds, including chicken and sirloin, beef fajitas, shrimp fajitas, enchiladas with homemade tortillas, even chicken wings. And my favorite is the mango sauce, which goes great with a nice cold beer. You can dine in and take advantage of the full bar or get your order to go. Call ahead, 901-800-2737 to pick up or use the drive-thru. Ask how you can win a 2021 Nissan Versa. Taqueria Express.
Special $1.25 margaritas now at Taqueria Express.
It's time, Memphis. Tune in to Fox Sports Southeast and watch your next-gen Grizzlies tonight at 7 p.m. when they take on the Los Angeles Clippers, presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Check out Grizzlies.com for more information.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour. It's your good buddy Johnny Radio, and it's Friday, people. It might be a little wet outside, but guess what? It ain't cold, or at least it ain't frozen. Roads aren't near as bad as they were last week. My goodness, and guess what? We don't have to boil our water anymore. But do me a favor and let it run for like 5 minutes before you brush your teeth and take a shower and stuff like that.
Also, empty out the ice maker.
Yeah,
Be
because
careful
you want to
now.
get your seeds and stems out of your ice maker, according to Gabe Kuhn. That's what you said was in. You said it.
I said stems. I didn't say seeds. You
Oh,
added
so
it.
you had.
I said stems, and then you added seeds.
So you had some skunk, no seeds. Interesting.
You need help.
That's my
You
good
need
buddy
help,
Gabe
sir.
Kuhn. Follow him at G_Kuhn71. Follow me at Johnny_Radio. We're going to my favorite place in the whole wide world, and I'm not talking about seeing Memphis beat the brakes off of Cincinnati this Sunday, because I have a feeling Memphis is going to come out and beat the brakes off of them. But you know what I'm very excited to do? We're about to go to Hardenwood, but before we go to Hardenwood, I got to make sure you understand one thing very, very important. What are you doing right now? Are you just listening to me on the radio? Did you just get off work on a Friday? Go to 6290 Winchester Road to Taqueria Express number 6. Say, I want the John Harden special. Say, I want the Johnny Radio Happy Hour special. $1.25 margaritas. $1.25. And the most authentic Mexican food you will ever have in your life. Gabe Kuhn, he lives there. By the way, he's getting svelte. He's looking strong. And he's always got a smile on his face when we leave Taqueria Express. I always have a smile on my face when I leave there. And it doesn't have anything to do with me drinking 4 margaritas for $5. It has everything to do with their burritos, their enchiladas, their hot wings, their everything. Oh, I love their carnitas. That's what Gabe taught me. I didn't even know what a carnita was. Thank you very much. It's some kind of pork, right?
Braised pork.
Oh, it's so good. Get the carnitas burrito or their tacos or whatever. But whatever you do, go to 6290 Winchester Road, Taqueria Express number 6. Tell them Johnny sent you. If you don't want to get out, call Uber Eats. They'll deliver it for you. Taqueria Express, it's simply the best. Let's go to Hardenwood.
This is Access Hardenwood.
So, an Oklahoma football player nearly lost an eyeball. You got to think to yourself, man, that jugs machine must have been shooting them footballs out at like 150 miles an hour. No. Or, dude, did he work for a really mean weight coach, Chris Doyle? No, it doesn't mean that either. Do you know what it means? He went to a bar, talked to a little guy. By the way, I'm going to tell you a secret. Don't go to bars. Little quiet guys with cauliflower ears.
That's the main part.
Can
right there.
beat your brakes.
Well, little quiet guys, not necessarily, but the cauliflower ear, I'm sorry. Even if I'm what? I'm 6'4". I'm 6'4", 300 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a guy who's 5'10", 200, and he has cauliflower ear, I won't even mess with him. I won't pick that fight. It's a dumb fight to pick.
Because you know why? All they do is take punches to the head, and they don't even care. They get in
At all.
octagons. They kick you. They learn jiu-jitsu. They know how to wrestle. They learn, like, every type of fighting.
Some, like this guy, tend to have, a decade worth of MMA experience?
Put it this way. The young man, his name is Braden Brown. Do you know how long Braden's been fighting? Him and his brother? They were 12 years old when they got in the first MMA official fight. They've been practicing in the cage. They are savages. Their dad's a savage, by the way. The way this guy's taught them, obviously. I mean, when you built...
I'm sorry, I would not put my kid into a MMA gym at 12 years old.
Dude, if you build
Just
an
me.
octagon... He built an octagon in their backyard. Did you not see that? Oh, dude, yeah, I've been checking.
So we're going Kimbo. This is Kimbo Slice-esque.
This dude is, like, he wasn't playing with his kids. He's like, I want to make sure... He taught him wrestling. It says jiu-jitsu. Every type of fighting you could think of. Now, I will say this. If you're a football player... You have to have a little bit of air of yourself. You got to think you're a bad mamma jamma. You can beat up most people. But again, don't drink too many drinks where you can't recognize cauliflower ear. And I hate to say this, but my man, dude, what do you say to Spencer Jones? What do you tell him today? Because if you don't know this, Spencer Jones, a football player, got in a fight with these brothers, got beat up so bad that he almost lost his eye, and he got beat up in a bathroom and was choked out on the floor that was just full of urine.
Yeah, pee soaked.
Like, dude,
also no masks at all. No masks, no social distancing.
You know what? I didn't even think about that when I watched the video.
I noticed it pretty quickly. I was like, they're at a bar, in a bathroom, no mask in sight. Not even a gator, which I like my gator. If you're on the Periscope, Twitter, YouTube, whatever, you'll see. I wear my gator every day.
Have you watched the video?
Yes, it's bad. I feel bad for the guy. And he was ruthless too. He put him in like a rear naked
Dude, that's
choke
what I was getting ready
at
to
the
say.
end.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Ruthless.
He could have killed a guy. Spencer's lucky, to be honest.
And it
with
looked
you.
like, what's his name?
Are you talking about Brown?
Yeah, Brown. What's his first name?
His first name is Braden.
It looks like Braden was not going to stop until someone pulled him
Braden
off.
is, by the way, a professionally trained mixed martial artist wrestler. He's been in 58 fights. Yes. So he's a bad dude. That's why he has cauliflower ear. His brother.
Do you have like a league? I know I'm putting you on the spot, but is there a league that he's been fighting in?
It's a good question. Let's see.
Not UFC, clearly.
No, he hasn't made it there. He's still a young guy and going to school. But I will say one thing. You know that everybody said that the fight was started by Mr. Jones.
No, I saw. You watch a video. It's very clear.
Yeah.
He poked the bear.
He poked the bear. And guess
the bear.
what? You know what happened was that when you poke a bear, the bear eats you.
Yes.
And he ate that man. And he almost ate his eyeball.
And you also know you picked the wrong fight when you end up in a rear naked choke. That's just like, that's not the position you want to end in.
Now, this is a weird transition. So, do you know Baltimore Ravens player, Mr. Judon?
Matthew Judon?
Matthew Judon.
Edge rusher. Heck of an edge rusher.
Pretty good. Linebacker. Comes off the edge. Not very good in pass coverage, let's be honest.
No, they don't really ask him to do all that much.
You're right. They don't ask him to do that. But did you hear about him and a ESPN reporter?
Oh, no. I did not.
Do you know who Jamison Hensley is?
Not familiar with Jameson.
He writes. Oh, you're not familiar with Jameson? Liar.
Hensley.
Okay, Hensley. I thought you were going to say Jameson. I know you know Jameson. Jamison Hensley, though, he writes for ESPN. He covers Baltimore. He came out and said that Matthew Judon turned down a $16.5 million contract. Then Mr. Judon comes back and says, "Hi, Matthew. I was told that the Ravens, blah, 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 blah." And he says, "Your line," you know where, he said, man, I can't say this. I'm going to try to paint you a picture. He said, "Mr. Jameson, you know where you got your information? Right out of your lying keister."
Bleep.
Yes. He said, "I got time. Bro, you got to stop lying. I know you want clicks, and I know you want people to like you, but bro, if you don't stop lying, you're weak, and I'm going to expose you." So he comes back, and Matthew says to him very nicely, "I was told that the Ravens offered you a deal, $16.5 million per season, earlier this season, and it was declined by you and your agent. If you have a comment, I would certainly add that to the piece. I've always been fair with you. Thanks, and welcome back to Twitter." That was from Jamison Hensley.
Wait, hold up. 16.5 a year from Matthew Judon?
Yeah, I know.
Dang.
He should have signed it.
What is he do? Why would you not sign that?
So then Judon comes back and said, "This isn't true. Who told you this? If you can't tell me their name, then I have to think you're pulling stuff out of you know what again." He just keeps talking about his backside. You're kind of freaking me out, dude. And then he says this: "Mess with me and I will expose you on Instagram." What? And you're like, what is this about? And then he says he's got a bunch of pictures of Hensley in a strip club with him. Is it illegal to go to a strip club? Because I'm down. I haven't gone in a long time. My girlfriend actually pulled into the Gold Club by accident.
I mean,
the other night.
by that thought process, if he's exposing Hensley, he's exposing himself at the same time.
I think if you're a ball player, you're supposed to do business in a strip club.
It's a rite of passage.
I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way Platinum used to be back in the day. Memphis is not part of this.
James Harden knows all about that.
Lou Williams, Sweet Lou. I mean, but the whole thing is, do you think ESPN would actually care if he went out there and put a picture of a reporter hanging out with him in a strip club? I mean, it's not like he's butt naked on the dancing in the strip club.
To be honest, I something tells me ESPN might be happy that he's creating the relationships with the players that well. Does that make sense?
That does actually make a lot of sense.
Like ESPN, I don't think will be that mad about it, unless there's videos of him doing debaucherous things.
There's not.
That's a different thing.
There
but if
is
there's just
not.
pictures of him being in a strip club, I mean, I don't know a lot of men that haven't been to a strip club. To be honest,
I
with
know
you.
some.
Really?
No, I mean not off the top of my head, but I'm sure I've met them. Like I go to nice places sometimes, and I'm sure I've met some good guys. My girlfriend probably never mind. She has 3 friends I know have never been to a strip club. I know that for a fact. Anyway, now I got to get to this because this is very important. Oh my goodness. So, you know I love UFOs, right?
Of course.
Did you hear about the American Airlines flight crew that encountered an unidentified flying object over New Mexico on February 21st?
New Mexico too. That's kind of a sketchy place to find a UFO. That would be where I'd guess they'd be flying at.
It's long. It was
cylindrical.
It looked like a cruise missile, they said. It went flying over them at such a speed it wasn't even funny, and it was not seen on radar. Guess who scrambled some jets? Good old United States Air Force. We scrambled a few jets. We went and checked things out, and the Deep Black Horizon, whatever that is, I guess that's like a squadron. They scrambled. They saw these things. They said they don't know what they are. They said the target's up here. There's just something that's not right. I hate to say this, but it's long. It's like this is from the government now, and they said they're looking into this. Are we literally getting visited by aliens, Gabe? Because you introduced me to the History Channel.
After Dark?
Yes.
I wish I wouldn't have.
I know, because now I believe
there's been a consistent, every single day you've gotten crazier since I introduced you.
Yeah, you really
to History
have.
Channel After Dark.
But dude, the FAA air traffic control is in on this. The White Sands Missile Range said that they had V-2 rockets that they were looking to shoot up in the air, possibly. Like this could have been a really interesting situation. But the weird part about it is the government isn't hiding it. Like they're like, yep.
Seems like they've been pretty open about the UFOs lately.
So does that mean that they're ours?
What do you mean? They're
like
ours?
It's like our technology. Like back in the day, I'm sure a stealth bomber was flying over, and people are like, "It's a UFO." I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like I've never saw ET before, except for when I went to the big screen. Okay. Like, dude, I wanted to come and touch me with that glowing finger, make me better. I want to get fixed. Like, where are you? Come fix me, aliens. I'm here. What do I do? Do I go work for the government?
You'd know more then.
Doubt it. I really, 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 really doubt I would know more about it. Now, I want to ask you this. 67129, it came in. I said something to you, and we were talking about Zion Williamson, and I was like, who does his game compare to? Dude says Charles Barkley. Chuck, I feel like, had a better stroke and a bigger butt. Didn't have the athleticism. He was undersized. He played in the era of big guys, but he played so much bigger than he was. Is that a fair comparison?
I think they play way differently. Like, Charles Barkley wasn't a guy who was completely...
He was athletic, but he wasn't Zion athletic.
Yes, but he wasn't Zion athletic. Like, Zion's
athletic.
game is athleticism, I think, at this point in his career. And it's a hell of a game. Don't get it twisted. He scored 34 points last night. I think there's some similarities, but I don't like it as a full comparison. Some similarities, though. I'll give him that. Undersized, playing a point forward position. I understand.
Now, I will tell you this. This is very important, and I want you to not touch that dial because when we come back, I got to bring up one more bad thing, and it has to do with gymnastics. Very weird situation. A man took his life. We've got to get this fixed up if we care about our young people. We're talking about athletes as young as 6 years old, all the way up until, they're full-grown adults. It seems like a systemic physical and psychological abuse that's been like a war waged from gymnastics onto these young girls. I will tell you more about it on the other side. Plus, by the way, 3 Olympians have come out. 3 Olympians have come out and talked about their nightmare relationship with this sick individual. Whatever you do, though, don't you dare touch that dial. And remember one thing. Tito's handmade vodka. Top 10 vodka in the world. Best, period. Tito beverage. He came up with it. him and his buddy Dog Joe, and they craft this sucker in Austin, Texas. It's U.S. born, it's U.S. bred, and by the way, it's a corn-based vodka, so it's absolutely gluten-free. They still it in a classic pot still method, which is a rare thing on the vodka scene. I love Tito's. You'll love Tito's. You'll love their price point. Go out there and get you some Tito's today. Sports 56, 98.5, 96.1 FM.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
The President's Day event is in full swing at Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat on the Pike. And we're celebrating with 2020 Dodge Journey SE $19,990 or $249 a month. Or pump up your attitude with the 2021 Jeep Cherokee Latitude $21,740 or $277 a month. Or take your pick 2020 Ram 1500 Quad Cab Tradesman or 2021 Dodge Challenger XST $339 a month. It's your choice, Ram 1500 or Challenger. We Gossett at $339 a month. So drive past the rest and come to the best. Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat 1901 Covington Pike or shop online GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Almost financed through Chrysler, all 3,500 cash down, 75 months at 4.19 APR. Journey LT 296,053, MSRP 26,860. Latitude MD 168,760, MSRP 27,805. 1500 LS 156,730, MSRP 35,185. Challenger MH 581,58, MSRP 31,160. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax on a license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 3/1/21. Dealer stock only.
Do you want a greener, more weed-free lawn? If you're like me, you can't stand the sight of dandelions, clover, or especially crabgrass. Hi, I'm Brandon Holly, president of Lawn Solutions. We are your locally owned and operated weed control and fertilization company. We are also experts in disease and insect control on your lawn and landscape. Our uniformed technicians are full-time, year-round licensed and certified by the state of Tennessee. Lawn Solutions' personalized service is far more superior to that of national companies that promise but simply cannot deliver. We return phone calls, we keep appointments, and we want your business. What we will not do is bother you with endless phone calls or junk mail. Lawn Solutions will not sell you something your lawn doesn't need. If you're looking for a local lawn care company to kill your weeds and feed your grass, then Lawn Solutions is the finest. Call us at 867-5626. That's 867-5626. Or go online at LawnSolutionsInc.net. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for your business.
Head on over to Frontier Western Store for their famous February sale. This is Frontier's biggest sale of the year, and it's time to save big on boots and apparel. All men's jeans are now on sale. Wrangler Carhartt pants, $5 off. Area denim is also $5 off. There are huge savings on Carhartt shirts as well. Select clearance shirts and outerwear up to 50% off. Area shirts and jackets discounted as well. Hurry in for the best selection. All novelty shirts, including Simply Southern, Girly Girl, and Puppy Love, are buy one, get one half price. Men's t-shirts by Live Oak and A-Boat, also included in this sale. Frontier has markdowns in the boot room as well. Hundreds of boots by Double H, Rocky, Durango, and Ariat, now priced to move to make room for new spring arrivals. Stop by Frontier today and grab your next pair of dress or work boots. It's the famous February sale at Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Family owned and operated since 1967.
Hey everybody, new Silverados are here. I'm looking at all these hot new Chevy trucks out here at Olive Branch at All-Star Chevrolet. And All-Star has all the Silverados, new 2020s, new 2021s. You saw how all those trucks handled in the snow? And now you can be prepared for everything with your own. 0 for up to 72 months available right now. Because you got to know, if it's a Chevy you want, Olive Branch is where you want to be. New 2021 Equinoxes, Blazers, third row Traverse, and talk about some deals. Check out the demo sale on slightly driven loaners. And All-Star has dozens of certified pre-owned Chevys, Tahoes, Silverados, Impalas. And as always, everyone at All-Star Chevy has one job, just one, to make sure you get exactly what you want at the best deal. Have more fun and in record time. So remember, it's not Mount Moriah, not the Pike, not South Haven or Collierville. It's got to be Olive Branch, people. So find new roads to Olive Branch, where after all the snow days last week, everyone at All-Star will stay late until 7:30 through Friday night and until the last customer leaves on Saturday. Pre-shop online at allstarautogroup.com.
Welcome back to Sports 56 Happy Hour with Johnny Radio. This hour of Sports 56 Happy Hour is brought to you by Tito's Vodka. Here once again is Johnny Radio.
My friends feel it's their appointed duty. They keep trying to tell me
I will tell you one thing, people. Thank you for coming back to Sports 56 Happy Hour. I'm your buddy Johnny Radio, and I will say one thing. From 3 to 6, my man Wolo and Stats, they're going to drive you home. But Wolo's fired up today. He's a little upset with the American. He's a little upset. He has a different take than me. I was basically like, dude, 2021, all this stuff. He's got the take that my friend had. He says this is punishing the Tigers. This moving this game to Houston, it was supposed to be here, et cetera, all these things that are going on. He says it's a punishment. Dave Wolosha knows more than I do. And I'll tell you one thing, from 3 to 6, you do not want to miss what Wolo is dropping, because it seems like it's going to be extremely, extremely interesting. Now, before I get to this nasty person, do you know who John Geddard is?
Yes, I learned who he was yesterday.
Do you think that, I mean, how is this possible from the stuff that's happened in the past with some U.S. Olympians? You know what I'm talking about from the past, right? Of
course I do.
It's a nightmare. It's a disaster. It's scary. Anybody who's a father of young ladies, anybody who's in gymnastics, cheerleading, anything like that, it kind of freaks you out. This guy was hit with 24 criminal charges, 20 counts of human trafficking, 2 counts of sexual assault. He took his life, self-inflicted gunshot wound, so he's not going to get convicted of any of these things. He's not going to have his day in court. These people aren't going to get a opportunity to, face their, the guy who put all this trouble on them. But the whole situation about this is, how does something like this go on this long, Gabe? Like, it seems like this is impossible to me. For me to fathom this, that much abuse, like, it makes me nervous about
how systemic it clearly is. It's a systemic issue with USA Gymnastics, and how do you go forward and clean this?
I don't know how you do it.
Between the Larry Nassar thing and this and everything else that has happened, it just leaves me speechless. Like, I don't know how to speak on it. I don't know how to talk about it.
I didn't think anybody would make me feel as sick as Nassar did. This guy makes me feel just as sick, if not worse. And that makes me extremely sad for all these young ladies, these Olympic athletes, these people who wanted to be taken care of, these families. They have to deal with a lot. But you know what you have to deal with? My buddy Brian Elder. We just got over an ice storm. You might have damage to your roof. It can be a scary time. What do? You call 901-867-0303. That's 901-867-0303 for Brian Elder Roofing Solution. If he says you got a claim, you got a claim. He's got a 7-year warranty. Nobody can fix your roof better than Brian Elder. Go to brianelderroofing.com. Check everything out. Now, again, Memphis, I think, is going to drop Cincinnati at 12 o'clock on Sunday. It's going to be beautiful, but you don't want to miss this. Wolo is upset. Brett Norsworthy is going to be on the air with him. Gabe Kuhn is hanging out. The next 3 hours, I think, are going to be special. So if I were you, I would not touch that dial. Whatever you do, though, out there, do me a huge favor. Enjoy your day. Enjoy life. Get out there, make the world a better place. For Gabe, I'm John. Peace.